In Scrooge's bedchamber, glowing embers of a small fire hissed in the grate. The meagre light from the dying coals and a solitary candle were all that lit the room. Darkness was cheap, and Scrooge liked it. Dressed in a bedrobe and nightcap, he retrieved a small bowl of thin gruel which had been warming by the fire. Scrooge sat in his chair with the steaming bowl, intent on slurping down its contents before bed, but as he raised the bowl to his lips, a noise disturbed him. Hurriedly, Scrooge ran to his bedchamber door. There was not a soul to be seen in the gloom throughout, but yet the footsteps approached. He slammed the door and fastened every lock upon it. Above the bedchamber door hung 5 bells, the kind that were once used to hail servants to their master's quarters. Drawn to look, Scrooge saw the smallest one twitched. It twitched again, ringing louder this time. Moved by some unseen force, the smallest bell rang at that moment, vigorously and with all its might. It was joined in chorus by its 4 brothers. All the while, those footsteps approached, consistent in their mournful pace and accompanied by another sound, as if chains were being dragged over a wine merchant's cellar floor. The footsteps stopped, their maker having reached the external threshold of the locked door. The bells, too, ceased at that very moment. Scrooge, cowering in his chair by the dying fire, looked on as each lock had unfastened itself, moved by an unseen hand. The door opened to reveal the face that had stared back at Scrooge from the knocker on his front door. No longer some disembodied head, but complete with arms and legs and torso, clothed as Jacob Marley was in life, in waistcoat, tights, and boots. A bandage encircled his head, knotted above his brow, holding his jaw tightly shut. A chain of many yards wrapped about his person was clasped tightly across his chest and stretched out behind him into the gloom of the dark hallway. Links of varying sizes also entangled heavy cash chests, money boxes, keys, ledgers, and purses, all weighing down the miserable phantom that bore them. Scrooge beheld the spirit, hazed with that same unearthly light, staring into its death-cold eyes.
"What do you want with me?"
The spirit unfastened the bandage wrapped about his head with a thin finger, and his jaw fell agape with a crack to his chest.
"Much. Who are you? Ask me rather who I was." "Who were you then?" "In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley." Can you sit down?" "I can." "Well, do it then." "You don't believe in me." "I do not." "You doubt your senses." "I do. You're a humbug, I tell you. Humbug! The slightest thing can affect the senses. A disorder of the stomach, perhaps. You could be a piece of undigested beef, a blot of mustard, an underdone potato. Yes, there's more of gravy than the grave about you." "Do you believe in me or not?" "I do. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? Why have you come, Jacob Marley, to haunt me?" "It is required of every person that the spirit within them should walk abroad, travel far and wide to spread what is good and wholesome. If the spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so in death, and witness that which it cannot share, but might have shared, and turned to happiness." are a fearful apparition, Jacob. Why not speak comfort to me? I have none to give. I come to warn you, Ebenezer. Your fate will be as terrible as mine, unless you change your ways. I see. You're fettered. Tell me, why? I wear the chain I forged in life. Link by link, yard by yard, I made each one by the mean and cruel acts I performed in life. I am doomed to drag these chains about forever. I cannot settle. I must wander forever. If only you knew the weight of the chain you yourself bear. I see no chain. Mine, too, were invisible until the moment of my death. Yours, friend, were as full, as heavy, and as long as this 7 Christmases ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain. You must change, Ebenezer. How? Why? I don't understand why this must be your fate, and why, too, it must be mine. I am a good man of business, Jacob, as were you. Business! Mankind was my business. Common welfare was my business. Love, charity, understanding, benevolence, and mercy, all were my business. Hear me, Scrooge. My time is now short. There is a chance of my procuring, and a heavy price against my penance I paid for it. You always were a good friend, Jacob. You will be haunted by 3 ghosts. Well, in that case, I think I'd rather they didn't take the trouble to... Without their visits, you will suffer my fate. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1. Couldn't I take all 3 at once? Get it over with, Jacob. Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. And the third, more mercurial, shall appear in his own good time. Look to see me no more. Remember what I have told you, Ebenezer Scrooge.